Dear chefs, this is for you. They won't understand you. They won't. I know this because I used to be on their side, stuck in a dead-end office, working a shitty job, making decent pay. My family and friends were convinced I'd lost my mind when I gleefully leaped into the unknown abyss of cooking. I suppose they thought it was a phase I'd soon grow out of. Could this be you? Maybe finishing high school and are contemplating a life in the kitchen, or you're already in culinary school. Maybe it's not you, but rather someone else close to you. Whatever the circumstances, if you've gotten this far, I implore you to keep reading. Chefs are a rare, often misunderstood breed, and if you're amongst the naysayers, I don't blame you. I really don't. However, if the smallest piece of you is debating life in the kitchen, or you've already taken that plunge, finding yourself needing reassurance, you might find that here. There's also ample evidence to scare you away. There's plenty of that here as well. It just depends on the way your mind works. Regardless, keep reading. Most will never know what it's like to make a living as a professional cook or chef, and that makes me smile. It's something of which I'm arrogantly proud. No, not because I think we're better than anyone, but because of the fact that to be a really good cook or chef, it takes tremendous physical, mental, and emotional fortitude. Most people don't have nor appreciate the gifts we've been given, and this often includes our front-of-the-house counterparts. 7 days a week, we show up willing to get our asses kicked. We sign up for this in exchange for an opportunity to express ourselves through food. There's no such thing as weekends or holidays. We might get a random Tuesday off, and if we've put in the proper dues and happen to be in cahoots with the chef, we just might have the good fortune of being exonerated from working the dreaded Sunday morning brunch shift. No one wants to work Sunday morning. We work longer days than just about anyone. Days start early and end late, typically when the rest of the Western world isn't changing their PJs, brushing their teeth, and hopping to bed. The length isn't the hard part though, it's the depth. 15 hours on your feet is grueling enough to scare away most French straddlers. But on top of that, consider the kitchen atmosphere where everything is either excruciatingly hot or sharp as hell. Cooks scurry around cussing, the printer spewing out tickets as fast as it can, and for hours, every inch of one's body is physically tested. Emotions are tested, and sometimes you'll fail that test. You'll break into frustration mid-shift, relying on a teammate to help pull you through. Your mental strength will be tested. Misreading tickets, overcooking steaks, undercooking pasta, or completely blanking the fuck out on any number of things. Once again, having to rely on a teammate to help pull you through. You'll do the same for him or her. It's how we survive. Close call finger nicks and tears shed while chopping onions don't faze us, not even secondarily. Screaming hot 50-pound pots of salted water simmer away, not boiling fast enough most of the time. When the potatoes or pasta are ready to come out, chances are a dry towel is nowhere to be found, and lacking time to search, we somehow make do, most likely further searing the calluses up and down already damaged hands. Pain is an afterthought. It doesn't faze us. It can't, or the whole ship sinks. We owe it to the warriors next to us to keep going. There will also be a point mid-shift when you'll have to make a dash to the dry storage pantry, or the walk-in cooler. Darting across the obstacle course of the kitchen can typically include maintaining one's sense of balance while leaping across oil-slicked tile, dodging pans flying in the vicinity of the dish pit, and having to weave in and out of fellow line cooks, then back into your place on the line. This will also be done without dropping your supplies, or worse, disrupting the rhythm of the team. Disrupt the rhythm of the team, and we all go down with you. This takes serious skills. To create the rhythm necessary for success in the kitchen line takes hours and sometimes years working together as a unit in the trenches, slugging it out together. Next to the military in full-fledged combat, a group of guys and gals in the kitchen know teamwork better than just about anyone. Let's say you made it to the end of the service. By now, hours have lapsed since the first tickets came chirping through the printer, and the apron draped around your neck now resembles something your dog might have chewed to hell after having splashed through the mud. You're filthy, but pots are done flying across the kitchen, flames from the burners are dulled to mere pilot lights, and for the first time all night, you have a minute to breathe. A Red Bull sounds pretty good right about now, or traditionally, a cigarette in the cool, fresh air outside the kitchen hits a spot for most chefs. The burns on your hands have probably blistered already, and now that you actually have a minute, the pain hits you. The slightest of breaks, and it's back to business, identifying prep needs for the following day. It's the easy part of the night, coasting home after a dozen hours afoot. Now the challenge is powering through when your mind is occupied with fantasies of beers, shots, the dive bar across the street, and the pretty new waitress whose name you've already forgotten. If there's one thing I've learned as a chef, it's that we're always learning to adapt, rolling with the punches. We put ourselves out there as artists and creators. It's a beautiful thing to have the opportunity to express ourselves through the creation of food. And the food we craft should be an expression of who we are. What we create is just as much of how the world has shaped us as it is us shaping the way we see the world through our food. Unfortunately, most diners don't connect with our perspective. They want their food, their way, and it pisses us the hell off. Chances are, if you aren't a chef, this has been you, and we have undoubtedly bitched about you to our fellow cooks. If you've ever put your work out into the world, you know how much it stings to have your work not appreciated as you intended. This is what keeps us up at night, asking ourselves, how could I do it better, and what should I have done differently? It eats at us if we let it. Don't let it. Chances are your friends and family and virtually anyone close to you will be unsuccessful in understanding the life you've chosen for yourself. But maybe this letter helps, just a bit. If so, they might understand why your mind is racing at 2 a.m. after a 400 cover Friday night, and why you can't celebrate Mother's Day brunch with the fam. Perhaps now they might understand why every square inch of your body hurts most of the time, and how there really are no sick days in restaurants. They might understand why we settle for grossly underpaid wages, and hopefully they can read between the lines and figure out why we bitch about our customers upon getting off of work every night. They might understand how the stress from our jobs might lead us to have a few cocktails, which might be followed with a few bad decisions. Above all else, if nothing else, maybe they can see that we can't imagine our lives any other way. I'll take a handful of burn blisters, some achy knees, and the hankering for a cocktail at the end of the night over ever having to sit at another desk miserably debating whether or not to shove needles to my eyeballs. Living this life means we get to be creative, means we get to showcase our skills in the heat of battle, feeling the adrenaline rush of sloshing through the trenches with the guys and girls to our left and to our right. These are the ones we're lucky to call teammates. It means we get to be creative and stand proud for something we believe in. We get to sleep with a certain peace of mind and awaken the following morning hungry for more. Even if it means suiting up for brunch every now and again. We get to make a difference in the lives of the people around us in the best way we know how. We get to make them happy, and we get to through food. But promise me this. Show up every day looking to make the most of it. Learn from the best, seek to be the best, and once you're on your way, teach others to be the best. This life won't be easy, it'll be damn hard, but it'll be worth it. And in the end, you'll live the life of which you're proud, one that's yours, and in doing so, you get to make the world taste a bit better in the process. Now go kick your ass off.